It's 6:30 a.m. Sunday morning, folks, so grab your coffee, sit down, and enjoy Laura Crowley, Doug DeForest, coming to you almost live from Houston, the biggest little city in Texas County. It's the people, sights, sounds, and tastes of downtown Houston after hours. Now here's your hosts, Doug DeForest and Laura Crowley.
Doug.
How's it going? Get out. Where did this guy come from?
I thought it was you there for a minute.
I didn't put him in there. Well, hello, everybody. I was a little late, and look what walked in. Some guy in a purple shirt. I don't know.
Snooze, you lose.
Yeah, well, how you doing?
I'm great. How are you?
Welcome to Downtown Houston After Hours this week. I'm your host, Doug DeForest.
And I'm Laura Crowley.
You are wearing a nice hat today.
Well, you know, in honor of Mr. Anderson being on the show, and
I know he digs the hats.
He really does. He was questioning me how come I hadn't already had a few on. So, in honor.
Yes, she went ahead and got back in the hat mode.
Yeah, we're back in gear.
Now, this is going to be a great show today, and we don't have much time out here opening because there's so much to talk about and so much entertainment. Entertainment tonight is Henderson York.
They are awesome.
Well, they are. Well, at least they're Henderson and York.
Well, yeah.
They're both of them.
Both of them.
Yeah. So what did you do this week? What's been your big thing this week?
This week, I had to go to St. Louis a couple times, and but.
Did you buy furniture? You know, they have a
didn't.
furniture show. I mean, a furniture store.
We
have
go
a
to
show.
Tupelo for that.
Store, show, it's two different things. Huh?
Yeah, we go to Tupelo for furniture.
You do?
Yeah.
Also, and
fun
you
place
want to
down
tell
there.
anybody where you're buying it in Tupelo?
No. No.
Not really. Okay, folks, well, I tell you what, we're going to keep the opening segment short today.
Yes.
We got a lot going on.
Too much to do.
So we got Mike Anderson,
Yes.
our prosecuting attorney, and we have
Henderson York.
and we always have the 2-Minute Chef.
2-Minute Chef.
That's right. So it's a big day.
Yeah.
Let's get moving. What do you say?
Got lots to do. Let's go.
Folks, we'll be right back with more Downtown Houston.
After hours.
Don't go away. And now it's time for some Downtown Houston After Hours shout-outs. Shout out to Neil Sporting Goods, 213 North Grand, phone 967-4444. Barnhart Financial Services, 1463 Sam Houston, phone 967-4700. Donnie Wells, American Family Insurance, 610 South Grand, phone 967-2400. Atkinson Agency Insurance and Financial, 111 West Main, phone 967-2600. Houston Chamber of Commerce, 501 East Walnut, phone 967-2220. D&L Florist, 1468 Sam Houston Boulevard, 967-3705.
Hi, Brady. How are you?
Corner Express Shell is Houston's only locally owned and operated convenience store where we treat you like family.
At Corner Express Shell, we treat you right, one smile at a time. Corner Express Shell, Houston, Missouri. From the first look at Crowley's Homeworks, you will notice the thousands and thousands of ideas for any home project. Crowley's Homeworks has the best selection in the country. You don't have to drive miles to make your home beautiful. Just come on out to Crowley's Homeworks, 3 convenient locations to serve you. Crowley's Homeworks, turning houses into Crowley's Homeworks, Houston, Salem, and Mountain Grove. From the moment Glenn Romine Sr. first saw that old Model T, he knew what he wanted to do. He wanted to bring quality Ford products to the Ozarks. In 1933, Glenn Romine Sr. did just that. He opened Romine's Motor Company in Houston, Missouri. As Glenn Sr.'s boys grew, Glenn Jr., Don, and Bob all watched their father do business a very simple way. An old-fashioned handshake and a smile, and the best deal you could find. That's right, it's still done that way today at Romine's Motor Company. Glenn Sr. believed in salaried salesmen, so those salesmen would fight to give their customers the best deal possible. And it's remained that way for over 80 years. That's Romine's Motor Company on Highway 63 in Houston, Missouri. Phone 417-967-4134. It's where you'll get your best deal the first time around. Take it from the great Glenn Sr. himself.
Romine's Motor Company, Houston, Missouri. Best idea I ever had.
Back to the lovely downtown Houston After
Very
Hours.
nice.
We have a fan here.
We do.
This is our prosecuting attorney, y'all.
Mr. Mike Anderson
right there.
Yeah.
Woo!
How are you doing?
Not often do prosecutors get applause. You know, I mean, that's I know you go to work every. Yeah, when you walk into court, people don't go whoop 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 whoop. You know, they see you coming. Yeah. So, one thing that Mike and I have talked about, Laura, and I know he'll remember this conversation because I'm running for an office too, and he running for an office. How hard it is juggling all this.
I'm sure it is quite hard to juggle working while campaigning.
It is, Laura, but I look at it as an opportunity to get out and meet the people and talk to them. I enjoy it. One of the parts of my job that I like the most is getting out and seeing the people and talking to them and finding out what their concerns are. So it's difficult. I'm a 24/7 prosecutor full time. I'm on call 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. But I enjoy finding the time to get out and go door to door, business to business, and come down here and see folks like y'all.
Well, thank you, and we're glad to have you. He actually
Big fan of the show.
Yeah, he says he was the first guy to ever tell me, I watch us every Sunday.
Yeah.
Which kind of scared me because that means we can't, put anything out there that we can't get arrested for.
No illegal stuff.
Can't tell where the moonshine's at
happens.
or anything.
Well, my wife Diane and I every Sunday morning we get up. Now I don't get up to watch it when it airs live, but I record it and I watch it.
Heavens for TiVo, yeah.
Yes,
There you go.
gotta
Well, now
love
let me
that.
ask you a couple things about the area because growing up here, this area has long had a history of problems that other areas don't face as much. One of the ones that wasn't around when I was growing up, but I know my kids encountered it. They have to face it. Her kids have to face it. It's every day in our life. Is the meth problem? I mean, certainly it's a drug that came along way after just regular recreational drugs in the 60s and 70s, and is ruining lives. You want to talk a little about that?
I'd be glad to, Doug. And it's been a scourge and a problem here in Texas County. When I first became prosecutor in 2003, Texas County was the #1 meth-producing county in the #1 meth-producing state in the country.
And that does not get a whoop whoop.
No,
No,
that
we're
doesn't.
not excited about that at all.
It was and remains a very bad thing. It was terrible. We've worked with law enforcement, with the courts over the years. We've stayed on top of this. We've kind of centered our approach on treatment when possible and incarceration whenever required. And I'm glad to say that we've gotten to the point now to where we are no longer the #1 county in the #1 state. We're about the number 30 county in the number 3 state.
Yeah.
That's much better.
That takes a little bit of a whoop whoop.
Well, that'll take a whoop whoop whoop. Now,
But that doesn't mean to say that the problem's been solved. We've still got a long way to go. The fact that it's out there, we work with the courts. Like I said, law enforcement has been great. We go out and we're trying to root it out because this is a terrible thing. This is a terrible drug.
It destroys lives.
It kills people. It destroys lives. It hurts our community. Businesses, all of the crimes that we see in the paper, the burglaries and the thefts and things like that, when you look at it and when you get to know the people involved, most of the time methamphetamine is also involved.
They're
in
just
some way.
feeding their habit. And,
That's right,
And
yeah.
that's how they're doing it.
And somehow we
Right.
have to learn, and I know this has been a big part of your campaign, and you would love to see the kids of the area understand just how horrible this is on your body. And kids, if you've never seen the results of someone who wasn't on meth and then got on meth, I've seen some very good people, and I couldn't even recognize them after 3 months. Right. It eats you alive. And it's not, no matter what you think the fun is, it is a deadly, deadly drug.
Absolutely.
Well, physically, it's probably one of the most destructive things anybody can do to their body. I mean, I can't imagine anybody purposefully hurting themselves any more than the way they do with methamphetamine. And the effect it takes, loss of health, loss of mental ability, loss of teeth, loss of physical appearance. And you're right, Doug, it's horrible. It takes a horrible effect. Now, having said that, I will say that we've established one of the things I helped do here, and I'm proud of, is a drug court here in Texas County. And we've tried to get treatment for the people who are willing to accept treatment, and we've tried to get them help. And I'm glad to say now, 12 years later, I'm starting to see some people who have been successful in getting that treatment. And it's like seeing an old friend who just come through a terrible illness. You've seen them when they were sick. You've seen them whenever things were really bad for them, and you see now that they've gotten their lives back on track. And it is possible, and we work towards that. But methamphetamine, and especially for the young people out there, Doug's right, this is not a recreational drug. This is something that if you do pure evil. And if you do it one time, you are running the very real risk of ruining not only your life, but everybody around you, your family, your health, your future. And I hope everybody knows that and understands it.
Yeah, well, and we appreciate what you're doing for that in this county. And I want to tell you that it's, and I know it's wonderful when you see somebody who's cleaned up
and you realize that as a prosecutor, doing your job has helped us to stop the slide for somebody, right?
We've had some successes, and I'm proud to say that. We've worked hard, and when I say we, I mean my office, law enforcement, the courts, all of the resources in the community to bring some of these people back to themselves and back to normality, and we have had some successes. It's sad to say that we've had some terrible failures too. There's some people who have slipped through the cracks because of methamphetamine, and unfortunately will probably never come back.
Right. So you have this class that you do with, or not a class rather, but a court.
Yeah,
Yes, drug court. And do you do that here in Texas County?
It's the Texas County Drug Court Program, or Alternative Court Program it's called. And whenever there's a case that the base of it is drug addiction, and primarily methamphetamine, there are other drugs out there that are bad as well, but methamphetamine has been one of our bigger problems here. Mm-hmm. Whenever we determine that that's at the heart of the problem, and we think that there might be some resources available, rather than put these people in jail or rather than send them to prison, we will divert them into this drug court program.
Awesome. That is
where
awesome.
all of the resources can be devoted to trying to get this person back on track. And it's about a 1.5-year program that they go in. And if they successfully complete it, their court problems, their legal problems are resolved. They're healthy. They're back on track. If they don't successfully complete it, the alternative is
the new Justice Center.
That's it, the new
That's
Justice
right.
Center, yeah. Which, by the way, is a great building if you haven't seen it.
It's
I've
beautiful.
not been down there. We need to go take a look at that.
It is a beautiful building. There has been a lot of work that went into that, and the facility is fantastic.
Tell us how it got started. How did we get that? How did we get that Justice Center here? Because I mean, the old jail. I remember my poor old Uncle Pete liked to drink a little, and he'd spend a little time in the old pokey down here. I'm sorry to say, he was a war hero, but
I think I remember.
Uncle Pete. You know Uncle Pete. Well, Uncle Pete liked to have a little taste now and again, and he'd end up down there, always a trustee, because when they saw him coming, he was kind of like the one on Mayberry.
Right.
He'd let himself
He
in.
had the key.
Yeah, he'd let himself in. Well, but I went down there a couple times to pick him up, and gosh, it was even back when I was a child, that jail, I thought people can't be in here. Well, now we have a facility that is ready-made for today's modern inmate. Correct?
Well, that's right, and the people of Texas County should be really proud of it. They're the ones that built it. 4 years ago, the people here voted to build a new Justice Center, a new jail. Mm-hmm. We have a new 75-bed jail facility that's built to federal standards. It's the same standards that the federal government uses for their prisons. In addition to that, we have the Justice Center, which is 2 courtrooms that can handle 2 jury trials at the same time, and a third courtroom that can handle a third trial at the same time. All new offices for the prosecutor's office, the sheriff's department, juvenile offices, the judges have all new offices down there. And folks, if you haven't seen it, you need to come down and check it out. It's really something to be proud of as a citizen of Texas County.
It is.
This is something that you've built and you've provided, and 50 to 100 years from now, we'll be using that facility and proud of it. Our kids and their kids will have this facility to use going down the road. Yeah. So
Hopefully
great.
not from the inside.
No.
Yeah.
We hope.
Hopefully Uncle Joe was his name.
No, Uncle Pete.
Uncle Pete. Yeah.
Uncle Pete. Yeah. No, Joe was the guy on Mayberry, right? No, that was Otis.
Otis.
That's right.
Uncle Pete. Well, we're real proud of it, and I'm going to tell you, I tell people this all the time. I like to encourage people to come down sometime during the week. There's hardly a day that goes by that there's not something going on in the courthouse there. And I tell people it's the best show in town, and it's free.
I know people that have lived for that show.
Dress up, go to court.
You go down and watch what's going on in your community. If you see what's going on down there at the courthouse, this is where the rubber meets the road whenever where government's concerned. You can go down there and see what's really going on in your community.
I've had jury duty a couple times, and I just pray. I just
pray.
When I see the envelope, I go, oh, here it comes. But you start dreading it until you do it, and then sometimes it's such a blast.
Right.
You can't even believe what you're seeing. It's like a circus,
We have some folks, and I get to know them over time, that come down and observe. They just sit there and watch like they're watching this show. Some of the people here and enjoy it and get a kick out of it.
I know Laura feels like this in a thankless job, and really being a prosecutor, I know that when you take that job on, it is somewhat thankless, and sometimes you're the villain for the moment and the hero for the long term. And I know that it's a real problem to balance those things. And to have people like you want to stand up and be prosecutor because you take a lot, and we all know that, and we know I've known Mike and his wife for years. They've been friends with my family, and I got to tell you, folks, I know his heart, and I know that this is not just some punishment thing that he loves doing. You're actually out there trying to make this thing better.
Trying to help people.
Yeah,
We do, and I'll tell you, Doug, my son and my daughter-in-law and my grandchildren live here in Texas County, and that's my motivation. I want Texas County to be the kind of place that I love, and the reason I moved here in 1980 from New Orleans. And a lot of people have said,
well, there you go.
why have you moved up here? Well, that's the reason. I came
Yeah,
up
just
here.
go to New Orleans for a weekend, come back and give
you
us a
go.
report.
There you
Yeah.
go. Yeah. But I'm just proud to say that what we're doing down there is to make Texas County a better place and to keep it a good place and a good community for my children, my grandchildren, and your grandchildren. That's what we're trying to do, and that's what we want to keep doing.
Well,
Yeah.
buddy, bon temps roulé. That's
right,
what I'll
thank
tell you right there. Mike Anderson, y'all, give him a round of applause for his hard work. Keep watching our show if you don't care. Okay.
And I'm just amazed at some of the young talent we got.
Isn't it great?
Awesome.
Isn't it great? And you're going to see more on this show. We're going to get
I'm
off the
looking forward
stage
to
and
it.
let them
I'm
have
looking
it.
forward to
Yes.
it. I can't wait.
All right, folks, don't go away because downtown Houston After Hours will be.
Right back.
That's what we're going to do.
Time for some more downtown Houston after-hours shout-outs. Shout out to Rootin' Tootin' Alpacas, 16967 Highway B, phone 967-3801. Shout out to the Do It Center, 1435 Sam Houston Boulevard, phone 967-4179. Double R Pond, Sam Houston Boulevard, phone 967-2706. Oakwood Golf Course, 7453 Country Club Lane, phone 967-3968. Bob's Barbershop on Grand Street, phone 217-9719. The Office Bar on Grand, 967-5381. Progressive Ozark Bank, 1460 South Sam Houston Boulevard, phone 967-4196. S&S Package, 241 Brushy Creek Road, phone 967-2505.
We've been making landmarks in Houston for years. You can be a landmark too. Come on by.
Here for you, Landmark Bank. Here for you. I used to think that I could not go on, and life was nothing but an awful song. Now I know the meaning of true love. I'm leaning on the everlasting arm. If I can see it, then I can do it. If I just believe it, there's nothing to it. I believe I can fly. I believe I can touch the sky. I think about it every night and day. Spread my wings and fly away. I believe I can soar. See me running through that open door. I believe I can fly. I believe I can fly. I believe I can fly. See, I was on the verge of breaking down. Sometimes silence can seem so loud. There are miracles in life I must achieve, but now I know it starts inside of me. Oh, if I can see it, then I can do it. If I just believe it, there's nothing to it. I believe I can fly. I believe I can touch touch the sky. I think about it every night and day. Spread my wings and fly away. I believe I can soar. To see me running through that open door. I believe I can fly. I believe I can fly. I believe I can fly.
And now it's time for the 2-Minute Chef.
With Ian Driesel, take it away.
Hi, my name is Ian Driesel and I'm the 2-Minute Chef. Today I'm going to show you how to cook the perfect steak. Now first off, we want to let our meat come to room temperature, and that's just going to ensure an even cook through. Because if you have cold patches, some of your meat is going to take a little longer to cook than the rest. We're going to give it a good season with salt and pepper. Fresh ground pepper is always better. It's more fragrant because it releases oils when it gets cracked. And what we have here is a really, really hot pan. You want this pan to be super hot to ensure a good caramelization throughout the entire cooking process. And we're going to put some extra virgin olive oil in that. And we're just going to let that kind of start smoking a little bit. We're going to throw our steak in there. You hear that sizzle. Kind of move it around. Alright. I think our steak is just about ready to be flipped. See that beautiful color there? I'm just going to let that sit there for about 1 minute. We're going to throw a little pat of butter in there. Let that melt. Kind of push your steak to the top. I'm going to throw in a sprig of thyme. Hear that pop? That's all the aroma releasing into the pan in that butter. And we're just going to throw the butter on top of the steak here like this. Alright, now we're going to bring this off the heat. Set it on the plate, let it rest. We're going to put this to the side, try to keep that butter from burning, because we're going to use this butter as the sauce. Now with the steak, you want to let it rest about, for a steak this size, at least 5 minutes. So we're going to go ahead and cut this. And we're going to cut it against the grain. There you go. It's a perfect medium rare steak. Now to tell the doneness of a steak, there are several different ways to do it, but the way I do it is this. I just rest my thumb and I poke, and that consistency right there is going to be a rare. Now if you put your finger down, it kind of stiffens up a little bit, and that's going to be a medium rare. If you touch your thumb to your first knuckle, push, that's going to be a medium, medium well done. Well, I'm Ian Driesel, I'm the 2-Minute Chef, and there's your 2-minute perfect steak.
There she stood in the street, smiling from her head to her feet. I said, now, hey, what is this? Now, maybe she's in need of a kiss. I said, now, hey, what's your name, baby? Maybe we can see things the same. She said, now, hey, oh, hesitate. Let's move before they raise the parking right now. Oh, right now, baby, it's all right now. Oh, right now, baby, Let me tell you all about it now. I took her home to my place, watching every move on her face. I said, oh, hey, what's your name? Are you trying to put me in shame? I said, now, whoa, so don't go so fast. Don't you think that love can last? She said, love, Lord above. Now you're trying to trick me in love. All right now, baby, it's all right now. All right now, baby, it's all right now. It's all right now.
Time for some more downtown Houston after hours shout outs. Shout out to Pizza Express, 1415 South Sam Houston Boulevard, phone 967-4473. Shout out to Houston Bowl, 610 Highway B, phone 967-3211. Dr. Joe Richardson, DDS, 321 South 2nd Street, phone 967-4528. Our friends at Mojo Monkey, 219 North Grand, 967-7160. And O'Reilly Auto Parts, 1004 Sam Houston Boulevard, phone 967-4153. That's just some of our friends in downtown Houston after hours shout-outs.
CHC Home Centers. Whether you're a major builder or just fixing something yourself, do it best. For any project around your house, CHC can help. We bring big city selection to our communities. When you make home improvements, you can count on CHC. CHC Home Centers, this you gotta see.
You know what? This has been like one of the most entertaining shows. You know, you learn a lot about people, like the prosecutor, how much passion Mike has for his job.
Yes.
And you learn how tall Tim is,
He's pretty tall.
and how tall Josh isn't.
Yeah.
And yeah, those two things. So
Yeah.
but the talent every week is exceptional here.
It's amazing. I don't know where this all comes from in Texas County, but is it in the water?
Yeah, I think it was. You know, when I was growing up here in Texas County, it was rare to see a talented person at music. Music
Yeah.
was not the big thing, and now it's like every kid, they come out of the womb with a guitar and they're rocking the world.
They're amazing.
I don't know what's happening.
I don't either, but I'm really glad we found them.
Yep, that's right. Well, I guess say good night, Gracie.
Good night, Gracie.
No, you can go ahead and
Oh.
use your own name if you want to.
I'm Laura Crowley.
Yeah, she's Laura Crowley. I'm Doug DeForest, and this show is now over. Join us again next week, won't you? Bye-bye for now from downtown Houston.
After hours.
Oh, yeah.